trees will whisper a word. Maybe the sun will spread your joy to the ones who lost their hope. Fill my head with roses. I can't help but dream away. Standing on the field with you and flowers everywhere. Maybe there is a star with your name. One thing I know is that there should be. There is no one who has a heart as pure, no, not like yours. Dreaming of you. 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 What if the world had more of yours? What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no war. Dreaming of you. Dreaming of you.
Give me some time to get stronger. I'll be okay, just give me a little bit longer. Yeah, we're gonna win the struggle we're in. It's never goodbye till it's over. Come back to love. I was so crazy to lose you. Just come back to love. Let's never do what we used to. Leaving without saying, teasing without playing. I've had enough. So come back to love. I hope you're all good where you are now. It's probably too late, but here I am reaching my arm out. I want us to win the struggle we're in. It's never goodbye till it's over. Come back to love. I was so crazy to lose you. Just come back to love. Let's never do what we used to. Leaving without saying, teasing without playing. I've had enough. So come back to love. I hope you're still with me. This time will be different. Let's make a decision now. So come back to love. I was so crazy to lose you. Just come back to love. Let's never do what we used to. Leaving without saying, teasing without playing. I've had enough. So come back to So come back to love. Give me some time to get stronger. I'll be okay, just give me a little bit longer. Yeah, we're gonna win the struggle we're in. It's never goodbye, it's never